In this video, I'm going to show a quick demonstration of how to create bump maps in Cycles Render Blender, and then export them from Cycles and drop them into SecondLife. So let's get started. First thing we need going to do is I'm just going to put them on a plane because we really don't need to put for this. We're not going to really export a mesh and put it into SecondLife. We're just going to export our texture, which is the bump map. So we need something to put the texture on, and here we got it. Just a simple plane, and I'm going to go create some material for it. We don't care much what it's called. Some arbitrary color. If you want to see the color, we need to go into there. There's our material. Alright, since it's a simple plane, unwrapping it and creating a UV unwrap is pretty trivial. So let's see, I discovered this shortcut here, Control left arrow, which gives us the UV setup. And there's our UV editor, and there's our materials editor. So we'll go to top view. We're going to do an unwrap, and we could either do a normal unwrap or even a project from view. Since we're in top view, they both end up the same, but we do the unwrap. There's our unwrapped plane. Pick new. This is going to be the name of the texture that we're going to export from Blender. Oops. BU bump map from the bump texture. Alright, now we're going to go into our node editor for the characters. Need to be sure to click the, what is that, compositing? No, we want to do the materials. Right, shaders and shader nodes. Shift A, just leave that what's on there by default, and pick image texture. Go through and then pick the bump texture that we created, that text file right down there. Use that. Guess I could have put this on. Help you see the cursor here, but we're just about done anyhow. Alright, so we need to make sure that that's highlighted. You see the orange line around there. In order for this bake to work, that has to be highlighted. If it's not going to work. Alright, so let's go back to Control right click, and then go back into object mode. And now we're just going to add some interest to it. Let's pick a torus and do a scale, Shift Z, raise, make it bigger, and mesh. I have some extra characters defined in the setup, so now we have a simple set of steps. Alright, so now we have our objects of interest. We have the unwraps done. First off, we make sure that nothing's selected. Now do a right shift and select the steps. A shift right, select and select the torus. And then a shift right click to select the plane. Now we've got all of our objects of interest selected. We go over to our render screen, select bake, change from combined to normal, and then we have to pick, to be sure, the selected objects, selected to add active, and then I haven't figured out what this guy's for, but it needs to be non-zero, so I'll pick a 1. So now here's a tip. If you're trying to do this and follow along and you go bake and it gets you an error message For instance, let's try it here. No active UV layer found in the object. So you have to pick selected to active. Then we'll do the bake, and it says saved internal image. We got to save it or pack it. Right, so we'll do the control left arrow again, and there's our bump map that we've created, our texture. And you'll see the little star there that says it needs to be saved. So save as image. Right over the previous test that we did. Okay, we've got it saved. We'll go to Second Life. There's my previous attempt. Okay, we're going to create, just right click, create our cube. As you can see, I did a couple tests of this thing. We'll pick a blank surface. And now we're going to do the bumpiness thing. Do a Control U. Go to my desktop, do the upload. There's our object. I've already uploaded it, so I'm going to use the one I just uploaded. There's my bump map that I've already uploaded. Okay, so I notice I have picked bumpiness, and take the bump guy and drop that on there and click OK. Presto, done. There's your bump maps. Because of the way bump maps and Second Life treats them, it actually makes these things appear to have a three-dimensional surface associated with them. In fact, notice if I rotate it, how they appear. So that's because of where the apparent sun is. You get the shadowing, and Second Life is doing that because he knows what the bump maps are doing. So I'm just hitting the control key and then rotating the object. So you notice the top surface has no apparent three-dimensional appearance, and then as I rotate it, shadows get more pronounced. Alright, now the gotcha is I'm into the Control P on Firestorm here. The graphics settings are, if the graphics settings are too low, if you don't have a powerful graphics video card, then you will not see it. It looks just like a normal plain old cube. As you bump the graphics settings up, by default, halfway between high and ultra, it shows up. And what actually changed was this guy right there, the advanced lighting model. So if you don't have a high-powered enough graphics system to be able to support the advanced lighting model, then you're pretty much not going to be able to see what it is. You're not going to be able to see these bump maps. But if you do have it, well, there you go. Pretty cool, huh? Some of the reasons for doing this is you can take a very high poly, or an object, a very complex object that would be too complex, too many vertices to be able to upload it into Second Life, and you can bake the high poly object onto a low poly version of the object, upload the low poly version, and then add the bump map, and then you get what looks like a very complex object with a lot of vertices, but in fact it's not. And the cost of using it would be minimal. Cost of uploading it. Why is it not letting me go into edit here on this object of mine? It's not. Well, it's just a cube, so I was going to show you how weird. Something's going on here. Alright, so if you like this video, click like, appreciate it. That would be nice. And if you want to see more of these, subscribe and then click on the little bell so that you get updates when I produce them. Thanks for watching. Bye.